Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fireside, where we have the main grand finals. It's going to be Tara Resume versus the Refugees. My name's Tcmano. Joining me is going to be number one. We got Dr. Underscore on production, and we are going to be in for a best of five, going maybe all the way to four maps, depending on how things plays out. It's going to be an exciting night of TF2. And number one, I'm so glad you're here with me to experience all of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard something about a bunch of refugees fighting Tara Reid's resume or something. I don't know, but I just see a whole bunch of sweaty nerds. I think I got the wrong venue. No, I'm
No, this
kidding.
is the right one.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm just kidding. It's great to be here. Like, been waiting for 2 weeks now, waiting for this grand final, and finally it's here.
Yes, it is. And if you haven't been paying attention, we've been kind of slightly, maybe unintentionally covering the refugees' journey through Maine. I think we've
Yeah,
covered the majority of their matches, number one, somehow, some way. But they've had a bit of a journey getting up here. They lost early on, so they got sent down to the lower bracket because Maine this season was only the top four teams, meaning it was a double elimination. Meaning they lost in the first round to GG Go Next, and then they managed to claw their way back, beating Ninjago, beating GG Go Next, and now they are up against the team that has long dominated this main division, at least for this season. Tara Resume, they've looked the strong favorites all throughout, really. No big surprise that they have found themselves in grand finals. Maybe a little bit for the refugee squad, because I think those other two teams we briefly talked about, Ninjago and what was it, GG Go Next, both had a valid opportunity to try and get in here instead of the refugees, but they are the ones who were able to get in, and it's been quite a journey for them. We're gonna have to see how things shake out and how it all ends up, number one,
yeah.
but it's been exciting to watch.
Yeah, no, it was basically a scramble to see who would get to the finals second. Because, yeah, Terra Resume's won every single match that they've had in the series 2-0. So, yeah, dominating performance the whole way through. And, yeah, the double elimination really came to Refugees' rescue in the two matches that they played in the lower brackets to make it all the way here. But I think they deserve it. They've had a rough season. They finished, 11-5, and now they're 2-1 in the series. And I mean, I think Sage J's already kind of alluded that he doesn't have any illusions of making it out of this alive. He's already sure that he's going to have second place in main. But I mean, like always, I hope we take it to all the maps in the series.
Yeah, it would be exciting to see. So I guess we can talk about that just a little bit before these teams do go live. It is going to be a best of five. So as you might be a bit more accustomed to in the invite and advanced grand finals, there's going to be a best of five, meaning that Tara Resume, because they have been dominating in the season and through the postseason as well in playoffs, they are going to be going into this with a one map advantage, meaning they only have to win two of these upcoming four maps to walk away with a victory. Pug Refugees, or the Refugees, have to win three of them out of a four map, so you got to have a nice 75% win rate to walk away and claim victory. And so the maps that we're going to be going through are going to be, what is it? It's Process, then it is Sunshine, then it's Bagel, and then finally we're going to be rounding it out on Snakewater. So a lot of the classics with, a bit of an oddball with Bagel thrown in there, but I think at this point, number one, Bagel
Mm.
is kind of like the preferred Koth map for most teams.
Well, it seems to be that the Koth maps are just pure poison to Refugee. Every time they've gone up on it, they've either lost, or if they have won it, it's been through a narrow margin. And especially with this Tara Resume side, they have a secret weapon in the form of Scouty. He can play Soldier really well, but he can also play Sniper. And the two maps tonight, Process and Bagel, or really all of them, kind of favor a sniper-heavy approach, or they can support it. So it'll be interesting to see how refugees adapt to it and if they can lock out Scouty.
Indeed, indeed. And so I guess we can talk about the rosters as well. On the side of Tara Resume, we have got Knockers and T. They're going to be your two scouts, Scouty and Rive, even though his name's Scouty, is going to be playing Soldier, along with Rive, who's stepping in for today. Their normal Soldier is not there. So that might be something that might not be as coordinated as they perhaps once would, but that is no disrespect to Rive. I'm sure they'll be able to fill in beautifully. And then they've got Dot Jason on and Howl, aka Trix, on Medic. And then if you want to go down the refugee roster #1.
Of course, we've got, as always, Nomad and Lycosaur. Sage J on the Pocket Scout, Lycosaur on the Flank Scout. S and Kot's going to be your Soldier duo, S on the Pocket Soldier, Earl on Demo, and the infamous Moby on Medic.
Yes, Moby, aka Mob.
It's really Mob.
Yeah, Mob on Medic. The amazing main Medic, maybe advanced bound on Medic.
His lifelong dream. He's been waiting for this moment, and it's finally here.
It is finally here. He's always said, I want to make advanced on Medic, specifically on Medic, no other class.
His catchphrase, it's Mob Medic time.
It really is his catchphrase. It's Mobin time. That's what he likes to say. But as we do have a team readying up here, a lot of these players on both these rosters are just really phenomenal. Scouting, like you mentioned before, he's an exceptional just DM player, and also his sniper is really, really good. Knockers has got really great advanced experience that can maybe help out this roster and just kind of lead them through any tricky situations. On the other side, we were seeing a lot of S, we were seeing a lot of Earl, we were seeing a lot of Nomad, aka Sage J.
Everyone on Refugee goes big, dude. And that's the thing, is that the potential for huge plays is so exponentially large in this finals, because both teams are great, but they're not invincible, so there's sure to be some cracks in the armor along the way for both teams to sort of exploit and see some frankly nutty plays.
It is going to be a question. I do wonder, though, if it is going to have to be on the refugees to consistently make big plays in the face of maybe Tar Resume's a bit more understated, but more powerful, just kind of a team play. Because if the refugees are in a state where they have to kind of constantly go for like these big salvage plays, at a certain point, they might not be able to get them. And at that point, the Tar Resume just might be able to play the cleaner game overall and walk away with it.
Well, that has been their approach. You know, the Uber fights have been whatever, but their dry fights post Uber have been really well. And yeah, just going for the salvage play wherever they can get it. And yeah, that is the one thing I was pondering about today, because Resume just seems to come out and just do textbook pushes, you know, no funky stuff needed. Like you said, clean TF2.
Yeah, we are going to have to see, as we do have one team readying up. It's just going to be the refugees, maybe working on a few strats, but they don't have to be that scared. This is not their map pick. So, I mean, if they lose it, no harm, no foul, but they only have, that's their one shot. If they lose that, then they can't lose anymore. So definitely a little bit of pressure, but on process, I think it is interesting. Oh, yeah. I was just going to say, on process, the refugees have not actually played it during the playoffs, their playoffs run. So it is going to be interesting to see if they have any strats for it.
Well, process is just sort of a gimme map, especially in the finals. You know, the two teams are here. I'm pretty sure they can handle process. The main wild card would mostly be that Scouty sniper because of the long sight lines. You know, the forward spawn sniper plays. So Mo will really have to keep on his toes and keep aware of any Scouty plays.
He will have to, indeed. One thing to note is that as we watch all of these players, you know, DM around, we look at the cool cosmetics they have as they practice their air shots. You can get some cool IRL cosmetics at the Fireside merch shop. That's right. You can drip yourself out instead of your TF2 character. Spend that money on yourself. You deserve it. And what better way to do it than with some amazing Fireside merch? We got hoodies. We got other stuff as well, like some stickers and stuff, pins. Yeah. Some really great stuff. And, you know, if you do get it, let us know. Always great to see, you know, the community helping out and buying some cool stuff.
Yeah, something for everybody on the site, so go ahead and check it out. And if you're so inclined, you can also gift any merch that you buy in the store to a lucky viewer in chat. So if you're feeling generous, go for it.
Yeah, you definitely can. I mean, that's a great way to, surprise someone maybe for a birthday. Maybe it's just an extremely early Christmas present. But what would be a Christmas present for either of these teams is to walk away with the first map victory, because that would give them a lot of confidence in the rest of this series. But I guess as we're about to go live here, number one, do you have any predictions for this first map?
I'm gonna have to say Terra Resume takes this one, and then yeah, Refugee's gonna have to claw back on Sunshine.
All right, I'm gonna have to agree with you. We have seen the refugees have been able to do that before. They lost the first map last time, been able to pull it back on the second. And next match, we're gonna have to see if that repeats as we go live in main grand finals. Refugees versus Tar Resume as we watch this first mid. It's gonna be Kotz making a bit of space for his team as the refugees are gonna be able to get in here. They're taking a bit of spam damage, but not too big at the moment. Both these teams just feeling each other out. Now Kotz gonna be making a bit more room, but it's gonna be like his first one to fall. Now it's gonna be the soldiers bombing in on the side of Tar Resume. They are gonna be able to pick down another in the side of S. Knockers does go down, but currently Tar Resume does have the high ground, so they're gonna be able to spam the refugees out, and they're not on the right side of the map, so they can't even leave. They have to fight this. That's gonna be Kotz going down. Looks like they just want to try and play for this Uber Mob. Now does have, looks like Sage Day recognizing this is gonna go in. Earl just barely stays alive there. Might be able to get out, but they're going so slow here. They are going to be trapped out just a little bit. Nicer from Mob to get out there, but everyone else dies, and it's going to be a question of whether Mob can stay alive here, number one.
Yeah, and that just looked like a typical mid gone wrong where you rotate one side and you just can't find your way back, and now it's led to them just dying and bleeding on second. Here comes Rive in on last, getting denied by Kotz. Mob will live to fight another day. With slight Uber advantage, getting his spawns now, so it's not all dire, but certainly not the mid that they would have wanted first thing.
Yeah, that was a really, really close to being completely disastrous for them there. I 100% agree. They just kind of rotated, and then they found themselves in a part of the map where they couldn't easily escape to. With that being said, good stuff from Mob for escaping. If he had died there, this definitely would have been a last push for Tar Resume, and we would have been seeing a very, very quick first round. But oh, yeah, your prediction coming true. Scouty up on Sniper, immediately pulling it out.
Not even 2 minutes gone and he's up on Sniper. I wouldn't have expected anything less. Now he's peeking into 5 from lower lobby, trying to get the angle. And it seems that they are wary to it. Nomad checking on the spy, and that seemed to be a lot of what happened on the Ninjago map. They were just checking like crazy for the off-clash from Scouty.
Yeah, I mean, they should kind of expect it at a certain point, and also because they haven't sacked yet on Tar Resume, so they've been taking their time. Scouty going to be peeking in through lower, just trying to see if he can get ahead, peeking in through 5 or maybe 4, but they should know he's there, so they're not going to peek him just quite yet. So it's just going to be a question of how does Scouty and his team want to try and play this. They're playing pretty passively at the moment. I guess maybe he just wants to see if he can get the cheeky peek onto a player, but no one's really peeking his sightline, so they're gonna have to get a bit more aggressive if he wants to hit a shot.
Kotz in deep.
I say that. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, he went in deep lobby, but he got caught out trying to get something. There was a scout waiting, but he couldn't get the damage out, and here comes the peek in the lobby. Nomad trying his best to 1v1 Scouty. Low HP, and so is Mob. And just like that, S goes down as well to the body shot from Scouty. Peeking in on the demo, misses the headshot, but he does scare him away from the doorway. Now Jason's going to be peeking in. They know the gun's there. Here comes the Uber in from Knockers. Counter Uber popped off for Refugee. And now Blue just going to scurry out of the lobby after an ineffective Uber push.
Yeah, and Scouty just so dangerous playing on the other side. Yeah, but they're all going to get mulched on. That's going to be almost a complete wipe. It's only Scouty in one right now, just trying to see if he can hit a shot onto Mob. They should know he's there. Mob is playing super safe. Scouty still in on last, and he is finally going to die. And that was looking so good for Tar Resume, but they just got mulched on by 5 there, number one.
Yeah, they didn't take out the gun quick enough, and it just completely ended up biting him in the ass afterwards, especially after that Uber faded and they came in for the refight. And now here comes the mid-fight, or mid-push from Refugee. Kotz getting it from Sewer, S getting height advantage on red. And yeah, just like that, Tar Resume bullied out of mid onto second.
Really great stuff from the Refugees. They do have a bit of Uber ad. I don't know if they know. It might be just a just due to building a little bit better. But they are going to be sending a soldier in. It is going to be S making a bit of space as he does fade away out to Al-Qaeda. Now
Here
we are
comes
going to see
Cots.
the rest of the refugees, trying to pressure in, making space for Cots to get in a bit deep. Now the other soldier going to be flying in is going to be S, and the refugees are just taking so much ground for free here. They don't have to use just pressuring and threatening, and now they've been able to take second. Really great soldier work and just space taking from the refugees.
Good from both teams to avoid losing anybody on both of those pushes. Now they'll have full numbers and full Ubers for last, so another stalemate situation potentially coming in. Here comes Kotz into one, taking the 1v1 with the soldier, and will go down to Scouty, just like that.
He is a valiant attempt there, but now we are going to see another attempt from Scouty. Does get some good damage, but unfortunately not going to find enough to warrant a kill or a force. So that's just going to be both soldiers going in, trading their lives away. But you know what we have? We have a spy, number one.
Could he be going for yet another trick stab? God, I want to see it. I live to see the Kotz trick stab, especially in Grand Finals of Main, dude. Make my day.
It would be exciting. Question is he going to be able to get in clean? They do lose Sage, trying to peek through two, but now it's going to be a question of trxz, how they want to try and sack of themselves. They do have a pyro up, so they might already know that there is a scout up. I think, they did check on trxz, so they are going to be a bit aware. It might actually help out the refugees that they are aware, because I think they're maybe a bit scared to go for a sack attempt of their own. Maybe knowing that there's a spy lurking around somewhere. So that does buy time for Kotz to go all the way back up onto Soldier and Nomad to get back up here to the rest of his team. So basically, a lot of nothing happening, number one.
Yeah, I think after Sage went down unexpectedly in 2, they were kind of like, all right, well, we can't really do anything, and so it's better to just get off to the more useful class, back to Soldier, and just reset. Now, Demo's peeking in, Jason, upper lobby, looking to maybe get a feel out. Scouty on Sniper, who would have guessed?
He's going to be trying to play these angles, see if he can maybe get a shot. He's going to be posted up by one. His soldier going to be opening the door for him. He does get a body shot, I think, onto Kotz, but it's not going to be enough to get the kill. So they should know
refugee
now
moving
that
in the
Scouty...
lobby.
Oh, they are!
Going for the gun.
Taking this in through 4, going to be spamming down the gun, but they have not got the counter Uber out from Howl or Trix just quite yet, and Scouty ringing in a nice shot up onto Lycus, or now Trix has got full Uber at to work with. You're going to be pushing in through lower lobby. We do see S trying to go for a wraparound play in behind, not going to happen. Scouty with a shot onto Cox, who is hiding by one, and that's going to be a 4 down on the side of the refugee squad. Excellent stuff Uber used from the side of Trix, and Scouty just making the heads roll right now, number one.
Yeah, the trxz side is really good at getting those counter Ubers back in and getting the enemy team when they're still close to chokes. And the other thing I worried about is that since Scouty's going to be on Sniper, it's going to kind of deny a lot of that back cap potential that we like to see from Lycusur, because of the fact that the Sniper's just going to be slower and he has a railgun that can insta-shot a Scout if he's not full buff, pretty much.
Yeah, it is, and now it is going to be the refugees able to stabilize on second. They did use earlier there, so they are going to be having Uber add. Looks like trxz should recognize that, and they are going to be playing a little bit back. They don't want to get caught by this, but I think they're going to be able to maybe build in time. The refugees not going that quickly, or deciding not to use it, maybe fearing of a Scouty Sniper, recognizing that they might have to pop in a bit too early if they were going to take that minuscule add there, number one. So we are going to be heading into another stalemate again with Scouty trying to find an angle or a pick.
Yeah, that Scouty Sniper just denies so many potentials, because you don't really want to risk milking in, especially on a map like Process, and just getting dropped in the process. And yeah, they can afford to kite, hang back, let their sniper do all the heavy lifting as far as intimidation. And yeah, like you said, another stalemate coming up now. Scouty peeking into IT, seeing the shot.
It's just going to be a question of when he hits a shot, because we know he can.
Yeah.
And it's just a waiting game with the sniper. You don't want to give him too many angles, because at a certain point, it's just inevitable that one of them hits and he lands the shot that might just ruin your whole team's hold. So you do have to be a little bit proactive here. Yeah, peeking in through sewer mode, just almost in the crosshairs of a potentially disastrous outcome for the refugees, but they are going to be sending a few players in behind. It's going to be Cops going in for a big bomb in through IT, not going to be finding much of anything, so going to be a player down on the refugees, and now this is going to be a good opportunity for trxz to try and take some space and give their snipers some room to work with.
Now Rive jumping in, going to get gobbled up by the soldier. Form of S, very nice, so they do have a pick. And now the scout duel in IT.
Ooh.
Nice, Lycos taking down T, showing who's boss. Very nice. So 2 picks, Scout Soldier. They still have to worry about that sniper though, and here comes S the bomb in to clear the space, and he gets... oh my god! Air shot, headshot. Now Uber's traded off here. Nomad looking for Earl. Or no, looking for the blue demo. That's Jason, excuse me. Not going to find him, and Uber's now fading off into choke. Kotz gets a kill under the med. So they have that to work with, and Earl, the pipes of Earl coming out big, taking out Jason with that lock and load. Scouty's dead. Scout behind now, harassing from sewer. Going to be chased down. That's Knockers, 50 HP.
But the soldiers bombing in from Alcade might be able to get on the mode. Now the scout coming in late. He barely stays alive. But the other scout, Knockers. Oh, Mauve just stays alive somehow, some way. His team are there to able to defend. Also, great shoots from Mauve. That's so unfortunate for trxz not being able to get onto Mobe there. They had a lot of players dying for it. At the end of the day, Mobe stays alive, and that means Pug refugees are going to be able to get onto mid with big Uber ad. And depending on how they play this number 1, they might be able to go all the way to last.
And yeah, that was a bit of a trickle feed. I mean, trxz's got to do a lot harder in order to take out Mobe. You know, he's the best medic main NA right now, so got to do better than that. Now the trade out from the soldiers coming out. Al-Qaeda, the Uber popped off Rive on top of it. Now going to the back of point. Nomad on top of the med, takes out the med. Now on to Knockers, and S will help with that kill. T taking out like a Sir, and Mobe getting a kill out of T. Medic's a fragging class, baby. Let's go, Mobe. And now here comes Rive causing some havoc on the point. Now Scouty spawning in at last, going into 1. Jason to lock out.
Oh, Jason does take down Earl. We do see Sage already committed. Not going to be able to find the kill onto Jason. Good stuff from him to stay alive there. Scouty defending his demo. So even though the refugees were able to get onto second, they're going to have to slow the brakes a little bit. Looks like trxz want to try and fight this before Ubers are a thing. I don't mind it, but losing one early is not the way to Knockers. Does go down. We do see Jason just kind of alone out here. Now finally Scouty comes in to try and help. There is T going down super low, but it's going to be Scouty instead getting a pick up onto Kotzen now.
I think they're going to go for the risky Uber play here. Here they go.
Oh yeah, they do have ad, and now it's going to be Lycos in the backline. So much chaos around. Sage is going to be going on that.
There we go.
That's the first round.
Lycos doing what he does best. There's the back cap play, baby. I was a little bit worried that we wouldn't be able to see it, but he finds a way.
Yeah, going to be the first round of bad cap in the favor of the refugees. A pretty long round, 13 minutes, so a bit of a slower game. Definitely back and forth, though, at least within the round. But we're going to have to see if maybe the refugees can have a little bit of a better mid, because last time it was trxz just kind of bullying them out, number 1.
Well, bullying them out on their own side of mid, so yeah, hopefully they don't get stuck in that rotation. Here comes S early across, and here comes Kotz to finish up behind. Actually, they're both going behind, and now the fight in the death corner now against Jason in the med. Lycos are backing up. Scouty on top of the med. Mobe will go down, and now S fighting the scout in death corner, looking for the help of Lycos, but instead he's going to get jumped on by Scouty. And on the low ground with little HP, going to try to salvage on the demo, gets destroyed by Jason. Lycos are finishing off the med, so there's something to that. And now the DM fight winding down a mid. Lycos, Jason's 11 HP. Scouty can finish him off, or Lycos can finish him off if he's lucky. And he is indeed now finishing off Scouty. Lycos coming up clutch in the beginning of this round, just like the last one.
But T
coming up from behind and putting the end of that train, taking out Earl and Lycos with the 2K of his own. And yeah, just like that. Looked like it was going to go Refugee's way, but another mid for trxz.
I mean, it's so crucial for T to win that, because if he doesn't, that was definitely a one mid for the side of the refugees. Now, trxz might be able to just get this cap out before the refugees re-aggress. Looks like they are just going to be able to, and they are going to actually be able to pick out S from the refugee squad as well. So it looks like they're just going to be going forward with this, taking the space, leading with this momentum. It's going to be Kotz and Rive going to have to back out here a little bit. Scouty bombing in, making a bit of space for his his team going down super weak. Looks like Nomad wants to try and fight this. They do have Uber first, and they are going to use him. They get so many picks because of it. Now it's only going to be T and Scouty left alive. T going to be hiding in IT. There's a joke there somewhere. He's not going to be fighting, and he gets the pick off onto Katsu. Great stuff from T. Going to be staying alive. Going to be a thorn in the refugee side, but that's not going to stop them from capping mid. And a great Uber push from the side of Nomad, number one.
Yeah, and that was such a wonderful Uber from Mobe. You know, Nomad was really given the body language. You know, trust me, stay with me on the point here. Knew they had a little bit of Uber advantage, and they really worked it, just catching in the blue team as they try to walk back out of second. And yeah, here they go on to blue second right now.
Yeah, they are going to be going forward. They do still have to worry about the two players in behind. Once again, it is T and Scouty. A T in a little bit of a 1v1 with Kots. Kots is going to be able to stay alive, and because
he's just
of that,
delaying them, yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to be delaying them, and the refugee squad are moving forward because they were able to use that Uber so well before. They have now Uber at again. There's two players down, holding this last at the moment, because now T and Scouty are just now going to be able to get onto last to try and help defend. You have to wonder if it's going to be enough. The Uber does come out, but it's not going to be enough because they just going to be able to stand on the point, and that means the refugees take the second round, going up 2-0 in this grand finals.
Yeah, now 2 rounds in a row. The risky Uber play helped them win the round, you know. Help get the backup in the first win, and now just steamrolling from their second all the way to last. Just really nicely done. It seems that they really have improved their Ubers coming out to this final, so that's good to see.
That is really good to see. Maybe a bit of a botch play from Scouty and T there.
No!
Oh, but Mobe stays alive. That was Scouty. He went in so deep. He did so much damage. They might be able to bully the refugee squad out just because of the damage that Scouty did there. Mobe can't really commit to the rest of his team. And yeah, I think that is going to be what happens. Just going to be Earl hiding in the side of IT. So even though Scouty didn't really get any kills with that, his damage was just enough that Mobe couldn't commit with his team. And everyone else on Tar Resume were able to bully them out. So honestly, really great play from Scouty.
Great play from Scotty, but I mean the most important thing, Mobe's still alive with Uber on last, so you got to contend with that still.
They are going to have to try and figure out a way to deal with that. They haven't put Scouty up on Sniper just quite yet, opting to go with the standard classes. We did have a Sage checking, and it looks like they're going to be trying to go in, maybe take an Uber exchange.
It's going awfully, though.
Yeah, it is. They haven't managed to get out the Uber from Mobe just quite yet, so this is going to be a big Uber ad for aside from the refugee squad.
That was just a big old wet fart of an Uber push. I have no idea what they were trying to accomplish with that. Here comes the bomb from lower, maybe? Earl setting up the stick, and here we go.
Yeah, they're going in pretty deep. Earl goes in so deep. He does get caught because of it, but he does a lot of damage. Sage, unfortunately, not going to be able to clean up of it, but you have two players in behind. It's going to be Scouty and the other soldier as well. 5 coming in is just going to barely be enough, and that is going to be the first round for the side of Tara Resume. Scouty playing that phenomenally well, recognizing what he needed to do there, and Rive going to be able to get on the point, and now we have a game on our hands, both teams with points on the board. It's just going to be a question on who's going to be able to take it home as we go in onto this next minute. I don't think Scouty's on the airstrike this time, so they don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. And here we go. I'm looking at the Jason cam, trying to get the sticky damage out early. Refugees streaming across the point. Here comes Kotz up top. Scouty T pressuring the rock. Mo going down early, going to be the first casualty, so now they have to sack for Med. Med's inside a sewer. And they're protected. They're just bunkering him inside that sewer. Here comes Earl trading out with the demo, and now Rive just barely dying to Lycaser. Now Kotz and Lycaser left alive. Knockers taking the 1v1. And yeah, it's a Tara Resume mid, basically. They're just harassing now. Refugee and Kotz going to go down to the scout soldier combo, and here comes Lycaser with an attempt of his own, but Knockers going to take both down in quick succession.
Yeah, really great stuff from the side of a Knockers and Scouty to keep their med up and alive, recognizing the name of the game just to make sure trxz did not fall there. So now because of that, they are going to have big Uber ad to work with as they make their way onto second. It is going to be them just taking the space. We do have S in the side of IT. Might get caught out, and indeed he does. Scouty going to be picking up that kill. So now they might still have Uber ad. Depends. Mobe has been trying to build here. Ana going to be about 80% when this Uber does come in. So they have to work quick here for Tar Resume. They don't want to let Mobe get this Uber. Saudi going down is not a
They
great
gotta
way to
start
start
going.
things as well. And yeah, now Moab going to be up on the Uber. They use in response. It's going to be Trix caught out by 4. Unfortunate for him, but great for the refugee squad. Now they're going to have to try and get onto Moab, try and cause chaos in this post-fight. Knockers goes down. T going to be fighting against Nomad. He wins that, actually. He almost takes down Earl just due to the self-damage from that pipe, but Earl is going to be able to stay alive, and there is going to be someone hiding in heaven. It is going to be Rive. They don't know. He's going to be trying to make his way
Oh
here.
no.
And he might be able to get the point. Don't think anyone's there in time. Like a sir and Cots coming in, but he beeps it, and that's going to be Rive, making it a tie game number 1.
Yeah, and some great plays from Refugees to take their early lead, but now it just seems like they're kind of slipping here in the middle of the map here in 2 quick rounds from trxz. Not really the cleanest TF2 as we might have expected from the beginning. It seems like the roles kind of swapped here already.
Yeah, trxz kind of making use of those back caps both time. It's been the soldiers, either Scouty or Rive, getting in behind, showing that, you know, you don't need to be a scout to back cab. Potentially any class can do it as we go on to this next mid. Both soldiers going to be bombing in, trying to land on Moab, does some good damage, going to be able to take them down, however, so no soldiers on the side of trxz, so it's going to be opposite of what happened on the first mid. This time it's going to be trxz kind of bullied out on the opposite side of the map. This looks like they're going to be waiting for the Uber and going to maybe try and take it in through IT. That is going to be what Knockers wants to try and do here. They might going to be able to get a pick on the Kots, which they are going to be able to, but everyone else on the side of Refugees is going to be running forward. They want to try and take this as far as they possibly can. Knockers still leading, trying to get his med out to safety.
Nice.
Now the Uber has been used. Refugees using
Much
a lot later, and that's going to be, depend on this post-fight. Knockers trying to lead out through lobby. I think the Refugees might just let them get out here. They might find one onto Knockers, but he does barely stay alive. So at the end of the day, with only Jason falling, I think, actually no, T falls as well. So now if you're the Refugees, you might think about how to push on to last year number 1.
Yeah, no, that was just a really scrappy fight, and yeah, just like the first mid, except they had a lot more players. They really pushed the advantage, and they just let Hera chase them all the way back to their second, and they've got numbers advantage here on last. And Heavy just staying alive no matter what. Now the cap coming down on the point. It's going to be Nomad trying to fight 2 soldiers in a demo, but it's not going to happen. Now 3 up left for Refugee, and Moab's going to be getting out. Hopefully, yes, with 60 Uber and just leaving his last 2 teammates to die. Rather unfortunate Uber after such a nice push from mid, but oh well, Moab's alive and they're keeping their Uber, so that's worth something.
That is the silver lining for the Refugee squad. Good last hold as well from trxz, but they are going to have to worry about the Caught Sniper coming up. We haven't seen any kind of off classes like this from the Refugee squad, but Kots is up on it, going to be looking down. Cho got a great angle, and it's going to be helping find a pick out onto Scouty, and with T falling as well, the Refugees looking really great to hold this here. Jason going to have to wait for an arrow, and luckily he does get one. We have nice pipe off onto Sage. Sage is going to be slowing things down. They still have a bit of player ad on the side of a Refugee squad, but the Uber trade might come out here number 1.
Yeah, Uber popping off now, and Refugee once again going to have such a better Uber, and like I said, chasing Rive all the way out, and IT is going to escape with just a sliver of health. And yeah, kind of a nothing Uber exchange is going to reset here, setting up sticks. And yeah, Kot's probably going to try to work the pick. He's going to have to do something sooner or later. Actually, Scouty's on Sniper as well, so a little bit of an SVS probably coming out here.
It is going to be an SVS. We're going to have to see who gets the better, Scouty or Kots.
S is in danger, and there he goes.
It's going to be neither. It's going to be Scouty, however, yeah, getting that first pick on to S. So if you are trxz, you might take this opportunity to try and pressure a little bit, maybe get your sniper into a cheeky position so you can get a more rewarding class pick. As he's going to be in IT, and he's going to be able to get on the Moab.
Yeah, well, they had no soldiers to lock out the choke, so Scouty really had an easy time to just pick any angle he really wanted to. And yeah, just walked up through IT, easy does it, gets the med drop just like that. Now here comes the rest of Terra through IT.
Yeah, they are going to be coming in here. T going to be falling. Scouty looking behind, recognizing
Like
that Sage is in behind. Looking like they are going to try and block, however, for this midpoint, and they have done enough. Tricks going down pretty weak as well, going to have to dodge.
Oh,
just
Jason.
spam and all of that. Yeah, Nomad going to be winning up against Jason. Now he's going to be going all the way to last. He might be able to do this. He's going to have to win a 1v1 against T on last. T has to win that. Luckily, Knockers comes in to help him. Very crucial there because that was looking disastrous for trxz. Going to have to get back up onto second there. Howl did have to use to escape there, so Ubers are going to be basically even. Looks like S wants to make a bit of space for his team. It's going to be Rive, however, going in, going to be taking down Cots, and because of that, that's going to be stopping the refugee push onto second. Going to be happy to hold mid, as it looks like this time number one is going to be trxz trying to get in onto mid.
Yeah, here they come like a flood, and yeah, Lycos are actually trading out Rive really, so it's even numbers. And just like that, Scouty takes that Nomad, so they got no pockets. Scout, they're going to have to play a lot more aggressive. Slight Uber out in their favor, but I don't know if they can hold out in time for the spawns to get there. And actually, Tara is just looking content to hold by Rock. Okay, now with the late aggression out across mid. And yeah, just like that, Refugee going to give up as the midpoint is capped. Scouty's still on Sniper, so that's just one more thing they have to keep worrying about.
Yeah, Scouty just doing so much work for his team at the moment, because if they weren't able to get that easy first pick onto Nomad with Scouty, that was definitely holdable for the side of the refugee squad. But now this time just going to be trying to play in position, trying to keep track of all of the sightlines so they don't lose Mob to Scouty peeking somewhere else again, like what happened on mid. Just going to be a question of how Scouty wants to try and play this. I would like to see refugees get a bit aggressive, maybe try and take advantage of the fact that there is a sniper up. It is one of the soldiers, so maybe try and push one of the flanks. It is going to be Scouty going down in exchange for Kots, so I guess that's one way of dealing with it.
That's a worthwhile trade, just to get the monkey off their back. You know, they have an easier time peeking chokes without having to worry about getting their head blown off. So, I mean, Kots for Scouty, I think I'd make that trade all day.
Exactly, especially when Scouty has been so dominant on the sniper class so far. You know, he's been hitting shots. You know, it's not just like, we can disrespect that guy, go in, no fear. No, he's been hitting those clean, nice headshots. So you definitely got to try and play around that or play against that if you are the refugee squad. So still going to be keeping Mob up in IT, trying to make sure that there's no way that he can get a headshot, but you do have to worry if the trxz squad recognize that and they send their soldiers in and collapse on him in IT. There's not a lot of space for a medic to juke up there, so they do have to worry that they aren't pushed like that. But at the moment, it just seems like trxz have been content to just only use their sniper as a method of trying to break the second hold, as Scouty comes back up on it again from the respawn. So looks like it's just gonna be a question of how he wants to try and break this.
Yeah, and it's also a question of if they deny the sniper, well, I mean, the mid-fights have not really been going Refugee's way, so they're really content to just reset and press their luck and basically throw the dice on mid again.
Yeah, as now they are just going to be working through sewer, through choke, as Scouty just takes his sweet time trying to find an angle.
I don't think they want to play this way at all. That's what makes me wonder about the reset game, because, yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they're still able to do some, you know, back cap plays and some crazy shoves through flanks and all, but, I mean, this is not the way. I mean, they probably envisioned it going this way. I mean, frankly, knowing Scouty.
Yeah, but it's still, at the end of the day, you just gotta, wonder, do you get antsy? Do you just try and say, screw it, let's just go in with an Uber trade, see if the post favors us a little bit, or something like that. But, again, Scouty has been hitting shots, so I don't blame them for playing the waiting game. But at a certain point, there's only 4 minutes left in the round timer, only a minute left in the actual game timer before we do go into continuous overtime. So unless something crazy happens, number one, which, never say never, Scouty could just hit a miracle headshot right here. It is going to be whoever caps up the next round of Scouty is going to die in IT, so that's not the miracle shot from Scouty that you want to see. Now it's going to be a little bit of a 1v1. Lycos are going to be winning that, not before T does take down Kots, so a little bit better for the side of a refugee squad. They could try and pressure this if they so want to. Looks like that's going to be what Sage wants to do. Going to be working their way in through choke. But Knockers gets dropped.
Unfortunate. Yeah, now trxz has to run all the way out with no scout help whatsoever. He's got his soldier in demo waiting, but yeah, not the way they would have wanted it to go. And now the cap coming down as 8 seconds on the clock for the round timer, and now they have 95 seconds to do something with the rest of the 2 points in front of them, and they have Uber advantage, so hopefully they can try to milk it in. No, they pop in from low right T, and a gun set up in front of forwards. Gonna find Kotz walking it through one, trying to get the kill onto the med, something, and a pause?
Interesting.
Oh my god, I'm dying here. I just want to see something bad happen. Tell me Kotz gets something on this.
Well, we do have a pause coming out here. The Uber being used from the side of the refugee squad, not really getting much aside from Rive. They might be able to get Jason if he dies in the lobby area, but that's not guaranteed for them whatsoever. Of course, this pause, as you all may be aware, is 90 seconds in the future, so one of two things may have happened. Maybe the refugee squad were able to win this last push, and now we are seeing a oh
no way.
It appears that it was the wrong config.
Oh my god, it's rigged. What is this gerrymandering? No, what? How do you? It's the grand finals, dude. How are you not aware of what config you have on? Hello?
I don't know yet. I don't want to put it in games just quite
I'll
yet.
jump to conclusions.
Oh, all right. Well, we are going to see what happens, because that maybe indicates that we do go into a continuous overtime, or we should go into a continuous overtime that maybe didn't quite happen. Regardless, we are going to have to see, as the Uber was used from the side of the refugee squad. Oh. As we do head into another pause, maybe they're just trying to figure out, maybe they're bartering. All right. Oh, I see. Okay, so Rive maybe having some connection issues as well, potentially. A bit unfortunate that, you get the config wrong, and then you have a player having some poor connectivity issues as well. Shoutouts to Rive as well. He's not a main person on this Tara resume roster, but filling in for the team and trying to do his best to get that team the grand finals victory here. So unfortunate that he's having those pesky connection issues as well.
Here we go. It seems that we're finally on pause yet again. And Kotz up on the sniper. Even Ubers. And Kotz getting Rive. Hello. And yeah, the Uber exchange out on second. Really interesting play. Seems like a bit of throwing going on here. Don't really know what to make of it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't quite see it. I was retrying at that exact moment because I didn't think they were gonna do anything. But
they didn't. They didn't do anything.
Well, the end result is that trxz is down, meaning that this is going to be Uber ad for the side of mode. Refugees want to try and push this. They don't want to allow trxz any space to get in onto second. Now we see a soldier bombing in. So this is where the stalemate happened, where they errantly had the wrong config.
Oh my god.
So that means that ideally, this should mean that the refugee squad are going to be able to take second with Uber ad, which is what they had at that moment. trxz did go down there. So I guess maybe they were able to discuss it in the pause, as they are saying they have second. So we are going on to continuous overtime here. Oh, it looks like, okay, that's why they restarted it. Maybe they restarted it because they didn't do it in the continuous overtime format. So a bit of chaos going on here, but just to set the stage for people, I know it's been a bit chaotic. Refugees are on Tara Resume's second. They have Uber ad, and they have the ability to push on to last and take this first map in the grand finals. If they do that, technically the teams will be tied 1-1 in overall maps, because Tara Resume were the first seeded team coming into this grand finals, so they do have map ad. So it's going to be on the refugee squad to win 3 maps here, and winning 1 would mean they only have 2 more to win. On the other side of things, if Tara Resume walk away with the win here on process, they only have to win 1 more map, and then they can be the winners in this main grand finals battle, as we wait for the teams to figure out how this is going to happen. in the
And
meantime.
this is so scuffed. This is one of those things where you have to have a strong mental, especially coming into grand finals for dumb stuff like this, because this can just throw off your whole game pretty much. You know, something like a config not being right, you know, pauses, this, that, people dropping, you know. So I'm kind of worried for Refugee here, hoping that maybe they can keep their head on the game. This doesn't affect them too much, because this seems like shenanigans, dude. I don't know, something smells fishy.
Nah, I think it can be an honest mistake. I don't know who got the server, but you know, invite players, invite admins have done it before. Shout outs to Walrex and his team for doing it a few times there. So you know, it happens to the best of us and the worst of us, but it happens to all of us. That's the point. But we are just gonna have to wait and see how these teams want to try and deal with this issue. I think they've agreed to give the refugee squad second, which is ideal in this situation. Now we're just waiting on Earl, who has taken this moment to maybe you know, go for a little walk around the house, you know, stretch his limbs, you know, do some stretches on the wrist as well, because actually good PSA, you know, do some stretches before you game. You don't want to end up with carpal tunnel. And that would just ruin all the fun you could potentially have. So, you know, stretch, limber up, and stay hydrated.
Yeah, calisthenics, man, they're a lifesaver. But I think Earl's actually been driven to drink. I don't think he's going for a walk so much as he's going for a walk. Vodka. Here we go.
I see.
My dumb joke brought the game back to life. Here we go.
No worries. If that was all it's take, I should have put you on stage and give you the mic earlier. But
No.
Yes. After this, we do have the #1 comedy stand-up special coming your way, folks.
$15 cover charge. Just putting that out there.
Dang, just
All
making sure you make the money
directly
early.
to me. Yeah, Venmo. I don't care. Just give me money. And
Fair enough. You gotta make that dollar either way. Oh, interesting. We do have a shout out. A bit of information to maybe get the cam on Jason. He's got a little sneaky trap up in second. That's my favorite sticky trap to do as demo.
Who's it's on his sign is what I'm wondering. Well, it's just as well. Kot's going to take a look at that sign with a sniper scope, and he's going to get swarmed. Actually, taking a really long time to die, and in the meantime, Ed's going to take out Jason and Rive. That was awkward.
That was. I mean, good stuff. However, from the side of well, I guess both teams for just equalizing things. It's going to be faster respawners for this side.
I don't even know, dude. This is already too surreal, man. I don't know where to go from here now.
Well, Scouty does die, so good job on stage day getting that pick in lobby. That means that there is going to be player ad for the side of the refugee squad. Looks like Earl wants to try and take this Uber in. They haven't gotten just quite yet on to Trix. He is still alive with that big old Uber ad. Knockers doesn't die there, meaning that there's going to be no one falling on the side of this entire resume squad, meaning they're going to be able to push out onto second. We do see S going in pretty deep on second, or on two. However, it gets a lot of damage and takes down Jason, but that's not going to be enough to get the Uber force out onto Trix. So that does mean that this is going to be big Uber ad still for Tar Resume, and now they've got that opportunity to push it onto mid.
And so that Uber ad, S is dead. They're coming through sewer. And no, IT, excuse me. And just like that, Lycus are going to go down to Knockers, and Scouty's going to die to Kots, and then, or no, Kots is going to kill Scouty, and vice versa. And I'm already throwing in the towel, man. This is dumb. Refugee had it in the bag, and now an Uber popped it through choke, and Mobe's almost going to get caught out, going to escape with 84 HP. But Rive going to take that Nomad in that too. S is back in IT for some reason, and yeah, Mobe's going to get that Uber up, but it's just bonkers all around. I don't even know what's happening. It's up, down.
Yeah, it is a little bit bonkers, but at the end of the day, that does mean that the refugee squad do have Uber ad here. We are going to see Rive trying to get into a sneaky position on second. Scouty on spy, playing for the back cap, recognizing that the refugees are going to try and push out here, but however, he does go down to 4 hit points. He is still alive. and it is just going to be a question. They haven't quite spotted him.
No
He's going to be able to get
way.
here. Kotz is still Howard behind on last. This should be okay for the refugee squad because Kotz should win this. It's only a 4 health spy,
God,
and
I
he
hope.
does have the help of his soldier as to help take down Scouty, but that does mean that everyone else on Tar Resume, we're trying to fight second. Rive does fall, however, and this might buy enough time for Tricks to get their own Uber, which they do because they are down 2. Looks like they're just going to be off to go back. Looks like we do see Kotz trying to push IT. He might get picked off here, and he does. Great aggression from the side of T and Knockers to clean up that kill. And now this is looking really great for the side of Tar Resume. They got big Uber at the work with. They're going to be taking it in here. They don't have to use just quite yet. There's really no one in position to force Tricks. And now this is going to be so close because Mobe is getting kind of close to Uber. So if they take this in super aggressively, they might get caught out here. But it looks like they're going to be getting one for their troubles already. It is going to be S falling in the side of IT. Mobe as 100% just quite now. They should be able to block the point, but Cobb's going down as well. But
no, he jumps out of heaven.
Yeah, now finally coming up. And this should be a holdable position for the side of the refugee squad, but you might expect them to re-push in number 1.
Yeah, and here they come, swarming in. T gonna take down Lancaster, and Soldier, Scout, Med, just all on the point, just collapsed instantly, and it's a nightmare. It's a tragedy for a refugee. Oh man, just like a house of cards, man. They just tumbled down into nothing. So is that it? Oh, that's gonna be the map then.
Yeah, that is extremely unfortunate for the side of the refugee squad because they had the momentum in that one spot, and you could imagine. I mean, it is a what if, to be fair, but you could imagine a world where they take that in and they win this first map. However, that is not what happened. That is not the world that we find ourselves in. We find ourselves in a world where it's going to be Tara Resume taking the first map on a process 3-2, extremely close. A nail biter of a game. Maybe the silver lining for the refugee squad is that this was not their map pick. It was the Tara Resume's map pick. And now we go on to a map that they picked, Sunshine. But before that, we can take a little look-see at the logs here, number 1.
Fine, says our producer. It's all the same. I mean, if I were a refugee, I'd be super salty. I mean, I feel like I got robbed from that, and especially because it was Tar Resume's map pick. Man, I don't know. But seriously, that's got to be disheartening. You know, having all the momentum and just having it taken away because of something stupid like a poorly exec config. Yeah. So let's take a look at them stat arenas.
Yeah, as you probably would expect. Yeah, it's a bit low, probably due to both of the pauses happening there, and just it was such a close game and so back and forth that pretty low damage all across the board for everyone.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, there's nothing really you can discern from these. I mean, Mobe died 3 times, that's great, but I mean, the rest of it is just kind of, it was back and forth, but mostly stalemated because of the Scouty snipers. So not a lot of craziness happening. You know, the back caps for Refugee, pretty nuts, but I mean, 40 minutes of just the Scouty sniper game, I guess.
Yeah, it should be noted that Tar Resume were winning the majority of the mid, so maybe on a map that the refugee squad are a bit more comfortable with, they'll have a better chance of, you know, getting into these rounds and not having to kind of go mid to last, which is how they won a few of them. But on the other side of things, like you did say, Mobe only dying 3 times to trxz's 8. And even though it only netted in a 2-2 tie game, judging from this log, I'm not looking at the maybe potentially combined one with the overtime round. It was just a so close, so back and forth. Really great stuff from Tar Resume to be able to take as much ground as what's awarded to them, and also great stuff from Mobe to stay alive in so many precarious situations. First mid stands out predominantly being able to stay alive there. Really just netted his team an opportunity to hold on last, but enough about process. If you are both of these teams, either of these teams, you can't be thinking too much about process. You've got to look ahead towards Sunshine. It's a new map, a new opportunity to get back in to this match. And if you are the refugee squad, from here on out, it is do or die. You cannot lose another map if you want to try and walk away with it.
Well, see, that's the thing about process. Though, one more thing is that it was Resume's pick, but despite the mids, refugees looked really confident. It seemed like the scouty play was more of a ploy to stop the momentum of refugee, because frankly they looked pretty good. Like I said, it seemed like the roles were swapped. Refugee coming out playing some tight TF2, and yeah, Terra, despite being the top seed, having to rely on some scrappy plays and backcaps to get like anything going. But anyway. Yeah, Sunshine. It's Refugee's map pick. It's the one map that they're for sure confident on that isn't Metalworks, and Metalworks got banned pretty early. So yeah, I think Resume was trying to do whatever they could to avoid having the Refugee special run on them on Metalworks.
Yeah, and I was also looking at a Tara Resume's own season, and the only two maps they lost were on Metalworks, actually. So I think either way, it was not a map that they were going to be eager to play against any team in any world. So definitely not ideal for them on that map. So good on them. Sorry, I'm just getting some info.
Yeah, no, it's the other thing to contend with too is that the last time Refugees and Tara met was on Sunshine in week 8, and they just narrowly lost 4-5. So it's definitely a map that they can hold their own against Tara on. And the other time they fought against the Refugees was in week 2 on Snakewater, when they were running a different lineup or composition of their lineup.
Yeah. So as we do go in onto the second map in the grand finals, once again, Tara Resume winning a process 3-2 in a nail biter. It is going to be on the refugee squad to try and take it back. But do you have any predictions for this map?
Oh, I would,
Mr. Number One.
I would predict that it's not going to be as annoying as the first one. I mean, it should be hard to top that one, but hopefully nothing crazy happens in this one, and Refugee can just play their game like the way they wanted to. Like I said, I feel bad for them, man. I think they got kind of the rug pulled out from underneath them on that one.
Yeah, but that is true. It was very unfortunate how the first game did end, but regardless, it is the result that we got. Tara Resume winning that, and just really great stuff from the refugees to make it as close as it was, and also really great stuff from everyone as well on Tara Resume, as well as Scouty doing expert stuff on a Sniper, just hitting those shots. Rive showing up and, doing pretty good work on a team that, is not his normal team as well. We didn't mention that kind of in the beginning of this match, but Rive stepping in here as a just helping out this Tara Resume squad. Unfortunately, that they couldn't have their full main roster with them tonight, but this is the squad that they got. They've been able to take the first map on process. Are they going to be able to walk away with the victory here, name themselves the first placed winners in main grand finals this season of RGL, or are the refugee squads going to have something to say about it as we go in onto Sunshine? This is the refugees pick. We're going to have to see if maybe their mids yield them a bit better results here, Number One.
Yeah, and Tara's super late to mid. Earl taking a bit of a winding rollout, a little bit low. But yeah, Tara's just super late in the mid, so both teams really just exchanging positions. Scouting getting the first frag on a Kotz, here comes the bomb from Rive up top on a Tetris. And now a rotation mid once again, and Scouty going big on Mobe. And Nomad will trade him out, so now it's all in for the med. 3 down for this Tara Resume side as they retreat back into the red alley. And now even numbers, but poorer health and no heals for the refugee side. Earl going down and choking. Here comes Nomad, getting gobbled up by Jason and Knockers. And the combo just gravitating around Alley. They will get Uber up. And yeah, Mobe's on last, trying to build up what little Uber he can.
Yeah, Mobe is going to be trying to build that up furiously. That's going to be the last player going down on the refugee squad. Scouty just opened that up so well for his team. He got a pick off, I think, on the Kotz in that cafe area. Then he just bombed in through choke. It got the easy 2 rocket onto Mobe. and that just kind of secured his team the initial mid win, and being able to make sure that trxz stayed alive has now netted them a big Uber advantage. Mob has done well, however, number one, to try and equalize it, already at 80%.
Yeah, they're a little bit slow coming in here, and now T just now coming in from dungeon to spot things out, and now Terra getting ready to use in from the top right, and Mob is going to get it in time. However, let's see if he uses to save his players. And now holding on to it just a little bit longer. Jason taking out the gun, and now Terra getting backed up to that top left side, and Knockers won't make it out. However, the pipes of Earl, the mystic pipes of Earl, taking him down, and that will be a frag in favor of Refugee. And let's see if they go for the push out.
It looks like they are going to try to, they should, but with S going down there, it's also wise that they didn't commit everyone for it, and they're going to be back on their last. Ubers are going to be even, so it's going to be once again a question of how trxz wants to try and sack onto this. Maybe they send in Scout, and he goes again up onto Sniper. We've already seen it pay out dividends for them previously, so it's just going to be a question of what they want to try and do. It looks like they're maybe going to stack a few soldiers over on the left side to try and spam down any buildings that Refugee Squad wants to try and build here. But definitely a little bit of a not the greatest start for the Refugee Squad, but we do have Kotz in behind, wrapping around. He does get some nice rockets, and he gets onto trxz. That is what you got to see if you are Kotz, taking the game for themselves and doing the aggression themselves. And now that is going to be a big Uber ad. But we do have Scouty hiding in the bush. Generally, you see a Scout doing this, but, you know, Scouty's been doing some backcap plays and just showing that you can take the man off a Scout, but he's still Scouty.
Yeah, true that. In name and in mannerisms, and now T taking out S. And, yeah, Kotz. The Kotz feed legacy coming in clutch, getting the med kill when he needs it. He's out with 95% Uber, so that's got to hurt. And still a significant ad for Refugee. If they wanted, they could push out, and here comes the beef bomb through Shudder from Earl. Not going to be able to isolate that med, and he's going to connect with Knockers and back out of choke. But they will get the point, it seems. But leapfrog and pretty sizable ad for trxz coming into this.
It is going to be a pretty sizable ad for them. Because they did kill Scouty a bit later, that's going to buy a little bit more time for Mob and the rest of his team to try and figure out their defenses and build up some Uber. But on the flip side, if you are... Actually, they have Scouty up on Sniper. I can't tell if this is like preemptively thinking about trying to break the last hold, or this is how they want to try and push in onto second, because they do have Uber ad. They had about 30% of it. Looks like they're just gonna be trying to push with the Sniper regardless. I don't necessarily agree with it, considering that you could have just had them switch later after you had already gotten onto second. Maybe you would have been able to get a kill with this Uber, but that's not what happened. They don't really find anything with it, and Mob already has 100% to work with. Scouty trying to peek into lobby, maybe trying to get a cheeky pick off onto Mob before they use and get the drop, but bit of an interesting play.
Yeah, Kotz feed legacy going in once again. I think the way Terra... Oh, actually, Uber coming out.
Oh, Earl!
Earl going big.
My Earl!
Getting two big kills.
Oh, but Knockers is in behind. They should recognize this, and they are going to be trying to go him back to get him.
God.
He has caused so much chaos, and now we have Dot chasing as well. And still in lobby, just going to be trying to buy enough time, maybe set some sticky traps to try and get a cheeky pick onto anyone that he possibly can. We do have a soldier in lower. It is going to be Rive going down here. Looks like trxz wanted to try and fight this T, trying to see if he can get a 1v1 off against Sage, but he's just going to be backing off. Yeah, but Scouty, you're right, up on the spy.
Yeah, S hit him with a direct rocket, and he didn't even seem phased by it. Like, he didn't even acknowledge its existence, and now Scouty's just getting the intel out for his team. Here they come through Cafe, Refugee, peeking out, Earl, Sage, Mob. And, yeah, trxz is content to go back, and here comes Scouty, getting the stab on the Lycosaur on the point. Going to cause them to look around, maybe get the distraction for the team to push back in. Knocker's trying to get eyes, but he gets denied by the Earl demo, and here comes the Uber in. Oh no! And trying to get out bats was not the med trxz, but he decides better if it goes through Shutter instead. He will live. 90 Uber, and they're going to be coming out the plat. Going to take the Uber fight. If they're not careful, Refugee could be caught out.
Oh, they might just be. It looks like they are going to be able to keep at least a few people up and alive. They do lose both their soldiers. S and Kot's going to be taken down there. With Howl or trxz not using their Uber, this is still going to be ad for them to work with onto mid and maybe even onto second, depending on how they use this or not use this, as it looks like they're going to be able to get mid for free. We do have a little bit of a scuffle by the side of Valley. That is going to be Lycaster going down. Good stuff on Earl, getting the stickies to trade out T and equalize things here. And because of that, I do think Mob is going to be having enough time to get their own Uber up. So things are going to stalemate out. And they now this is the time that you'd maybe expect Scouty to come up on a sniper. But with Cods going down, they might be able to just pressure this out.
Yeah, Kanaker's taking a peek for himself, calling for his combo to come in, and here they are in alley. Scouty's going to be coming through Cafe, see if he causes some havoc from the unseen plane. Here he comes on a flat, right on the Mo, pops him up, gets the force off, however. But yeah, Scouty, you can't leave him alone on sniper or soldier, he'll make you pay, and just like that. Actually, Uber popped out for blue as well, so even Ubers, but Earl's going to die, and S taking a late death as well, so they're down 2, and most importantly, without their demo here on last. And here comes Scouty from Dungeon, bullying Kotz off the point. He's waiting for an arrow. Lycaster going to be coming up on heavy, but he's getting flanked in the meantime by Kanakers, and now here comes the cap time. Jason taking some damage. Nomad going to try to finish it off, but Scouty's on the case. Both soldiers on point. Going to bully all our refugee off, and there goes the first round for Tara Resume.
That is going to be the first round. Really great aggression from Tara Resume to net them that first one. And now this is going to put the pressure on the refugee squad, because now they are technically 2 maps down. They are round down on their map pick. So they've got to try and get this into gear. I'm wondering why Barola takes so long. It's because there's a pause. It's not just because they're slow. I was thinking, this is going to be a very, both teams taking their time getting the mid on, but no, it's just a pause. So maybe, hopefully, it's a team doing attack pause, because otherwise it would mean that maybe a player has disconnected at potentially an inopportune time, as we just watched these demos and soldiers just kind of mid-air, their legs dangling, as we do get word it is attack pause. So maybe that does point to me that this is going to be a lightning fast round from the side of Tara Resume, and this is the refugees trying to figure out what's going wrong and how they can try and salvage this map.
Yeah, you're probably right, and all these pauses and elongations of the match time. I think refugees just has a curse to have, a match time over 2.5 hours long. Here we go, unpaused, and Jason out early on the mid, tagging Lycaster, tagging up Earl. Kot's putting out this. Here comes S across the point. Actually getting shoved underneath, and now the bomb onto the combo, putting out some bad damage. Here comes S, but taken down by Kanakers. And now another opposite mid rotate yet again. Jason getting their kill onto Earl. And yeah, Moab in dire straits with very low health. Scouty taking out Kotz with the spam rocket. Now Nomad and Moab getting disconnected, and Moab just all alone in choke, just accepting his fate. And yeah, I think your diagnosis was correct. Another quick round from Tara Resume, probably bringing up attack pause, and yeah, I can imagine Sage not being too happy right now.
Indeed, because both of these times Moab unfortunate to die on mid. Maybe Moab was doing some fancy footwork there to stay alive just a little bit, but not enough to stay alive this time, because now Tara Resume have a big Uber ad to work with. We already think we know what's going to happen, but let's just see how it plays out, as the Uber going to be coming in from Tara Resume, going to be walking it in fairly deep. Teak with a ball kill onto Lycus, so you don't see that every day. Scouty going to be taking down Kotz. Rive getting another pick. Earl does trade out that Jason, but I think it's too little, too late, as now there's only going to be one up and alive. It is Moab. And even though he is a great medic, even the best of medics can't be winning 1v6s like that.
Yeah, they need their team for that one for sure. I'm a believer that medic can make a team, but you can't make the team, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's there's a limit, to what you can do in those scenarios. But now we have attack pause coming out of a third mid on our hands. It'd be ideal for refugees.
Big.
Oh my, that was a big old bomb from Scouty. Unfortunately, not going to find much of anything. And now already with player ad in their hands, This is definitely a good opportunity for the refugees to work with. They're doing a lot of damage trying to force trxz out through Valley, which they should be able to, as they do lose another in the side of T. So this is going to be the first one mid for the side of Pug Refugees on their map pick.
Yeah, and that was really fortunate for Refugee, man, because they had just poor health across the board. If Terra would have maybe tried to peek it back in with some aggression, they could have maybe won the fight while the game was good, but they don't need it because they get 2 picks anyway on Lycasaur and S. So yeah, they got what they needed, just a little bit delayed, and Scouty's on Sniper, so see what he's able to do with that.
Oh, and
just
that's
like
what
that,
he
he's
does.
going to take out Cots. Well, I guess it was only a matter of time. And now T getting the unseen aggression onto the demo, and Choke getting blasted around down to 4 HP, but he will live. And Rive will take down Earl. But Nomad trading him out. Both teams with Uber, but down to Soldier demo, it's not looking great for Refugee.
It isn't, and also with Katsa being delayed, not going to be able to get that force spawn. Scouty just going to be able to body shot Lycasaur down. Now the Uber aggressive coming out from the side of a refugee squad. I don't mind this. Recognize they could maybe get trxz to flash a little bit more, maybe buy some time as well for the respawners to get up here and also just kind of nullify the sniper. But now it's going to be maybe a repush attempt coming in here from trxz. They wanted to try and get in through Valley. Scouty is going to be able to take down Kots.
Dude, he was just going for the hero peek to draw eyes back, and he ends up getting the kill on the Kots. Oh no, this is just looking more and more nice for Refugee. It's scrappy and not in a way that they're able to work with. Well, there we go. Lycasaur on the T, but traded out by Kanakers, and yeah, Kanakers is on the med. They're getting wrapped completely. It's just looking like it's going to be lights out for this round.
It does seem to be. Mo might actually stay alive. There's no way he should have lived there. His team did lose second, but still, trxz should have cleaned him up there. There's no reason Mobe should have done that. He was closer to Cafe than he was to the Shutter during half of that. So, good stuff for Mobe to stay alive, and because of that, it's not just going to be a clean round win for trxz. I mean, still really great stuff from them to get in there onto second, but great stuff from Mobe to stay alive.
Yeah, the unconventional salvage. I mean, if the med can stay alive, it just gives you that much more of an advantage that you can work with. It's like godsend in moments like these. I wasn't expecting him to live at all from my dejected demeanor. I'm sure you could tell, but he pulls it out of his hat. That's the Mobe way, I guess.
Yeah, it is. But this time, we have a sniper up on trxz, which wouldn't be that surprising.
Is it Scouty?
No,
tell me, who is it? Who could it be?
It's Kanakers.
What?
Yeah, he's going to be coming up, deciding that, he's the scout this time. He wants to get onto the fun off class. Scouty has had enough of it. Just for right now, going to be trying to peek in through the left side. He does have to deal with Lycasaur, who's up on the Australian man as well. Just trying to see if maybe he can get a cheeky pick, but it's going to be Earl with the sticky traps, going to be taking down Kanakers instead. And so now maybe the refugees try and sack in.
Here comes S from under, going to the plat with the bomb, with the rockets, with the miss, but he gets the force. Oh, wow, too much respect from Trix, and yeah, Uber's just dwindling in lobby. Earn a little bit of trouble, but so is T, getting absolutely pinned to the ceiling by the sentry.
Yeah, they tried to make something of that Uber, but I think that's just one of those scenarios where you just recognize you're not going to do anything and you just already start to get into defensive positions. But we do have Jason getting a nice sticky trap onto Lycasaur. That's going to halt his momentum from the side of Pug Refugees just a little bit. They still have Uber at, and they should be able to wait for Lycasaur and still have, so not the end of the world, but because Sage was on Engineer throughout that whole thing, they really have to wait for Lycasaur before they make any type of play. Now finally going to be able to respawn and meet back up. This is still technically Uber ad. They have to kind of go quick, and they have to try and make sure they get onto Tricks or get a lot of
They gotta
hits.
go.
In the meantime, now we're going to be trying to go in through lower. There are some players in for a backup. Is going to be Rive and T trying to fake it just a little bit. This Uber hasn't been used yet, and now it's going to be a trade because they've waited so long. S is going to fall, and is looking a little bit better for the side of trxz. They used a little bit later, and they have the better positioning here. They are just not going to lose anyone else. And because of it, I think this should be a stalemate position for the side of the refugee squad.
Yeah, it's looking like it, but they are trying to work something on the left, and they will pay for it. Earl taking out Kanakers with the stickies, so yeah, a little bit of regression, try to push their luck, and it came up empty-handed. I mean, oh, nice, and S getting a kill on a Scouty as well. Very nicely done. So down Scout Soldier, they can work with that. Yeah, the one silver lining to this situation is that this is exactly how it came out for Refugees when they were playing on Sunshine against Ninjaga Rebooted 3 matches ago. They were down 2 and they swept 3 to take the map. So we'll see if they can make something happen now. A scrappy fight outside of Shutter. Kanaker's gonna go gonna take down Nomad. T taking out Kots. S trading out Knockers and 4 health. Moog with the kill on a T. Saving it for his team there. And Scouty up on Spy. The off class is just coming out in full force.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna expect it because it looks like the Refugees want to try and take this in, recognizing that they do have Uber at. Question is Scouty going to be able to get to the point in time?
Oh,
he bumps into Sage J. That is so unfortunate for Scouty, but that's so crucial if you are. But he's still alive. Scouty's still alive. I'm not quite sure.
No!
Oh my, he bumps into another person. He stays alive though. What?
He's 29 HP and survived splash from a soldier like 3 times, and Sage just wiggling his pistol in front of him. What the heck? He doesn't deserve
that. I mean, they should know because Sage bumped into him.
I would hope.
Yeah, I would hope as well. Mob with some new intuitive medic kind of just go into someone else's a player model so you don't get backstab type of gameplay. I respect it considering that they know he's up on Spy and he hasn't died just quite yet. So Scouty is up, they know, but they haven't been able to kill him, which is maybe you kind of hope that they have. He's got Mob in his sights here. Trying to see.
Mob's a little bit suspicious, just shooting off arrows at anything suspect.
This is going to be play for Scouty, maybe trying to get in a soldier sack and then he can decloak and maybe get the backstab onto Mo, but they definitely know he's been able to stay alive for so long.
Yeah, and he's just letting them get distracted. That's exactly what he wants. I mean, they have the round advantage. They got to do something. And if they're too afraid to move up because of Scouty, if he's on Spy or Sniper, I mean, he doesn't need to get picks if he's just stalling their pushes. It's just
been so much spam. And none of it has hit him just quite yet. Now we do see a bit of pressure coming up. We do have 2 players in behind, actually, T and Rive. So now there's 3 in behind, 3 in front. This is maybe a pinch play coming out from the side of Tar Resume. If they can execute it, this could be a full wipe coming out here. They do have Rive bombing in. He isn't going to get much of anything at all. Like I said, doing really well to shoot him out of the sky. They do know there's another one in behind. It is T. And looks like the Refugee squad wants to try and go forward here. They do have to worry about the back half. Looks like they have Kots back here to try and defend. He's going to have to try and take this 1v1 up against T. And now with the Spy as well. It looks like, however, for the Refugees on the side of mid, they've been able to get a bit of space. With this back cap coming out, 3 on the point is going to be big if Lycaser is able to win it, but Rive is coming in here just to try and clean things up. The Refugee squad are going to clean up everyone doing the backup, but they do lose seconds, so they are going to have to cap it up again.
I think they're in a better position to take this post, though. Soldier jumping in big, and that's S. Yeah, that's Jason. Yeah, you can't go against us like that. I mean, they're down players, but I mean, if you got S in your back pocket, height advantage, I wouldn't put it past them to not win that. And Scouty's back on Sniper and takes down Sage, and there goes that idea.
Really, really great shot from Scouty to just kind of stuff this momentum. He gets another shot on the Kots before Kots takes down T. Scouty is just in when no one else on his team is as well, and he's just been hitting the shots to signify his presence. Now he's going to be walking his way in through Cafe. He almost had a shot on the Mob. That was scary there. They should know that he's going to be peeking all of these angles. Mob now up on 100%. So is trxz. Yeah, the Uber coming out here. They do. Cool. Yeah, they do drop a scout on a, or they drop S, sorry. And Jason does go down, so maybe a little bit better for the Refugee squad, as now we do see Kots flying in through Valley. Lycaser as well, also in through Valley, does a lot of damage. It's going to be able to get a lot of kills. Howl is going to have to try and escape through Valley. Just might be able to, and we do have Rive coming in almost in the nick of time, but no, it's going to be Howl still staying alive, and Howl going to be able to get out amazing stuff from Trix, going to be able to juke so much damage, stay alive for his team. But the refugee squad have the momentum, even though Trix did stay alive. Mob has Uber at to work with. We do have Earl with so many stickies on this forward spawn. It looks like a whoever that was knows better. Yeah.
Not gonna take that chance now. Less than 10 minutes to go. Here comes Kotz looking for the early pick. He's gonna escape through lower. A little bit of pressure from Knockers, but nothing else really. And yeah, Uber's gonna be coming out soon. And finally, some life breathed into this refugee offense. And here they come. Earl getting a little bit stuck, but he's gonna get the jump out of the med, and he gets it with the sticky at the very end. So they do have heal advantage. They can just work that in. Rive coming and causing some havoc. Nomad taking out Rive. And the sentry will finally die. Now T on the engineer taking the duel against Earl. Gets finished off by Knockers, but Scouty dying as well. And now it's just Knockers and Jason left alive. And now it's just Jason with some sticks on the point getting blasted aside by S. And this is going to be the first round for the refugees finally coming out with 9 minutes to go. Can they make a comeback? They got to sweep it just like they did against Ninjago Rebooted, and I believe. Let's go.
They definitely can. It all depends on these mids, because their mids have not been ideal so far in any of the rounds. They haven't really been able to get a nice, good, clean mid. They did win one, but they weren't able to do much of anything with it. And I think they lost it pretty soon after, as now we are going to see Trxz getting in through Valley, just trying to avoid all the spam. Cots coming in through Cafe might be able to do a lot of damage, as we do see both soldiers, however, falling on the side of the refugee squad. Scouty and Rive, no soldiers on the field whatsoever, so this is going to be a scout and demo v scout and demo fight right now. A little bit of high ground control from the side of Lycasur, going to get bullied off. T just doing extra work, but it's going to be Lycasur winning that on the high ground now. With the player ad, they should be able to bully these players out, and that is going to be a mid win for the refugee squad. Looks like they maybe want to try and see if they can extend this, take a bit of space, walking their way through Cafe here, number one.
Yeah, here comes Sage looking for that Uber exchange. Earl's like, I'm staying out of it. You do what you do, can't. But getting a little bit caught out if he's not careful, and he just barely slinks away. Doesn't even take any damage. So yeah, living like Larry on that one. I think Sage just wanted to get that Uber out of the way so they could focus on the post-Uber fight like they do well. And yeah, it just seems like Refugee just needed that little bit of momentum, and they can go far with it. And now they're just going to stabilize a bit. Cuts! Oh, with the sick rocket on the Trix! Oh my god, air shot! Sit down, my boys, sit down. Okay, Trixie's like, all right, nice shot, nice shot. Got to respect the COTS play. Coming in huge, though, and that's going to be massive Uber advantage for Refugee. And here we go. Is this the start of something beautiful? Oh, man, just pilot through Cafe. Knockers just taken down by the whole combo of Refugee. Nomad taking down Rive. Lycasur taking down T. And here we go. 3 dead for the Trxz side. And sitting on the demo lower in dungeon. Ah, gets taken down by the pill server, but he's weak. And going back to his med. Scotty desperately setting up on last. The sentry. Here comes Refugee with the cap going down on a second. Nomad in the face with the Uber popped off in Jason's face, and now going to be clearing off the stickies. Asking for the flash off. Cap time coming down.
Oh, the heavy
Nomad big. Heavy's going to be a non-issue.
The heavy!
Ah, never mind. I thought Earl had the damage out. But just like that, they salvage. And yeah, Refugee going down. Mob going to escape with S. And that's the best they can ask for. And yeah, Earl got some bad damage, but now able to capitalize. Mob messing around the choke for too long, and now T in his face. And does he live? Getting pistoled down. And no, his team comes to the rescue with 53 HP. T will escape. He's got a soldier in his face. That's caught. He will take the 1v1. And does he fish him off? No, Koch jumping out last second. Here comes Refugee. Filtering out of mid. Terra hot on their heels, but 2 kills. Lycasur getting 2 on Knockers and Jason. And I'm getting out of breath as Koch comes in the alley. Please take it away, Mano.
Yeah, I mean, it all started with that great stuff from COTS. And now we have to see the Refugee squad trying to get in here. They do force out the Uber, so hopefully if they can keep Mope alive, this is going to work well for them. They don't lose anyone else aside from Sage, who was committed to get that Uber forced. S and Earl have to stay alive here and meet back up with their respawners that are now slowly coming up. And this might be enough time for this, for Trxz to maybe get this midpoint. We do have Rive going down fairly weak in the side of Cafe. Is going to be able to make it back out to the rest of his team as well. Scouty jumping around, does a lot of damage to COTS in Cafe. but it is not going to be enough, as now we see Pug Refugees making their way in onto mid. Going to be trying to spam all of these players out. Tire Resume just going to be able to give it up. They're going to be trying to play for this Uber on second. Refugee Squad, they want to try and move quick. They're going to be trying to make their way in through Valley.
Here we go, Uber.
Bombing in is going to be able to do some damage. And he does get one onto Jason, so no demo up from the side of Tara Resume. And luckily, that's going to be just enough time for Trix to get the Uber. And now the recollapse coming in from the side of Tara Resume. Going to be cleaning all of them up like it's going to be the last one to fall. And that was really, really great milk from the side of Trix there. Or not milk, just confidence in the rest of his team to take that aggressive Uber in. And now we have Sage up on Sniper.
I'd rather say that was a bad Uber from Refugee. They got completely disconnected. Earl was going for one thing, the Scout was for the other. They needed to do the classic, shoot the same thing strat right there in order to make that Uber successful and get the med. But yeah, just separated and now it's cost them. They're pushed back onto the second now. Terra coming through mid. And S getting the kill on Jason, but traded up just as quick. And now Scotty back on plat on Mobe. Can he live? No, he can't, but T really ripped against Scout. And Demo goes down, and now Rive having to get out with his med. Nomad on the aggressive.
Yeah, this is going to be just Sage trying to bully them out of here. Maybe just try and see if he can mount some type of defense to maybe get onto Trix when they inevitably push in, because Mobe is only just now spawning. So this is going to be big old Uber ad for the side of Tara Resume. And there's only going to be 4 minutes left on the clock before we get into continuous overtime, assuming that the teams have got the right conflict this time, which I think they do.
I hope to God.
Yeah, so it is a, even though there's only, 4 minutes left, definitely a bit of pressure mounting for the Refugee Squad, because they've been kind of on the back foot. Mobe only at 50%, so not close to getting just quite now. The Uber coming in from the side of Cap Resume. They're playing the point really well, but S is going to get a pick down, but it's not going to be enough. And that is going to be a third round in the favor of Tara Resume, resuming their dominance after that initial round, or that round from the Refugee Squad.
Yeah, and all the momentum just sapped up and sucked away into nothingness. they gotta figure out something, man. Pull out all the stops, because they got 3 minutes still continuous time, and now they have to win 3 in a row in order to take the map sweep completely. And now Earl, some early damage, really weak. That's coming in big over the top, putting early pressure onto the Sarah Resume side. Kotz finishing up on Rive, but Trix getting a kill of his own on the Legacer. And yeah, bad health, and it's going to be a wipe. Minus Nomad. Oh, there's the wipe. And just ugly, ugly stuff. Hate to see it.
I hate to see it if you are a Refugee fan. Love to see it if you are a Tire Resume fan, because they have been showing their dominance on this map so far. A lot more than that was on Process, which is kind of reverse to what you may have initially expected, considering it was a each other team's map pick. But this is the Refugees map pick. This is a map they thought they had the best chance of winning against the Tara Resume squad on, so they have to kind of look at the resume, try and see what skills they thought they had that allowed them to pick this map, and kind of enable them now, because they are once again trying to face off against Uber this ad. Look like they maybe want to take it in through dungeon, but they think better of it going in through top right. Gonna be bombing in their demo in. Jason goes down pretty weak, luckily to get that reflash there. S gonna fall. The sentry gun now falling as well, so now the point gonna be played from the 2 scouts. A lot of cap time onto the soldiers. Are gonna be bombing to try and block it just a little bit, but it's not gonna be enough. And they go up 4-1, and now this is do or die, a mega do or die, because if they lose this map, they lose grand finals, and if they lose this round, they lose the map, which loses them grand finals. So
yeah,
definitely backs up against the wall.
This is the most do or die I've ever seen the Refugee side. Like, this is just so dire. Scotty's on the airstrike. Just, oh man. I don't know if it's strats or BM at this point, but here he comes with the bomb. And in on the combo and taken down just as quick. All right, whatever, cool. And Jason, barely getting back up to health. He had 23 HP before he finally got the arrow from his med. And now S putting some pressure from behind, and the whole team's going to be going back for him. So there goes that short-lived reprieve. But Refugees with the positional advantage, but it's not going to stop Tara Resume coming in from choke and catching Earl from the back. And now the pressure applied from T onto Mope. just dancing around, but finally dying to the pistol. Trix goes down in the melee, but it's poor health from the refugee side. Kot's going to get cleaned up. Earl and 45 HP going to get out with Earl. And actually, no, looks like they're going to mount a 3-man offense. Scotty getting bullied out of choke, leaving with 110 minus. And yeah. Oh, they still have the midpoint, so they have forward spawns. Like I said, finishing off Rive. So a bit of some trickle feeding going on. Even Ubers, 5 seconds. It's continuous time, so it's completely on refugee to pull out all the stops and get 4 rounds in a row.
Yeah, definitely technically still doable for them, considering we have potentially all the time in the world to try and make something happen. S is going to take down T, a little bit of a trade out. Nice pipe from Earl. Yeah, on to Knocker. So a little bit of player ad for the refugee squad. They do have an opportunity to maybe try and make this into something. Looks like they are going to do that. They're going to try and take the drive fight. Yeah, they take down Scouty as well. So now a few players down on the side. Going to be bombing in, taking a lot of space. Est is in, as well as Sage as well. Yeah, Med Dead. Trix is down, as now they just have to try and keep Mob alive, and he is all the way running away. So they've been able to net themselves good Uber advantage, good stuff from Mob to stay alive there, and considering that their players have already respawned, they might be able to get onto second before they cap it up, number one.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Do you think they drew it up that way? Because I don't think that's how they meant for that play to go at all. But it's not going to stop them. Here comes the regression into second. They have Uber in hand. Trix only just now getting his up. Now Moke just absolutely has to survive any attempt that they have on his life. He cannot afford to pop here because they've got to carry this momentum going through. They can't drop players. They can't drop Uber. Trix is down, so they have a lot of time to work with. They can take it in however they please. They're going to come in from dungeon. Demo spam coming up. Uber's going to be popped off. Earl going to be working the right side. And now Sage is on the point. Here comes the bomb from Scotty. Pyro up in the form of Jason. Scotty, 1 HP. Last hope alive, and here we go. Refugee getting their second cap, their second round. And this could be the start of something big. They just need a little bit of momentum to work with. Let's see if they can carry it through into this next mid. Really nicely done. I doubt that that's how they drew it up, but it ended up working out for him in the end.
It did end up working out 4-2, still in the favor of Tara Resume. They've got to figure out these mids of a refugee squad if they want to try and find a home here on Sunshine, because these mids have not been really going their way, aside from that last one, which is maybe a bit of a feed because Scouty just bombed in with the airstrike. But on these other kind of more classic mids, it's been kind of going a little bit of a mixed bag. So we do see S lurking over by Valley, just going to try and go for the late soldier bomb in with his soldier buddy. They do a lot of damage. They are going to get the better in terms of trade. Only 2 for 2. Nice pipes from Jason, going to be able to take down Sage. But on this point, it's going to be, Trix and the rest of his squad stuck on the opposite side of the map. Looks like Refugees recognize that they're going to be able to cap up mid.
It's just the process play again.
Yeah, and now we're going to be trying to cap up onto second. They have to try and defend this point from the wrong side of the map. Is going to be Tara Resume. They're getting a lot of cap time. They are just going to be able to. Yeah, and now the Uber finally comes out from the refugee squad.
But now he's got nobody with him, and he allows us to die out there and just, walking out with her from Cafe. They're going to get wrapped by T. And now Sage just desperately going to try to corral his med out of that fight. He's going to actually stay to hold up the Terra Resume side. I don't know if he needed to do that, but it is what it is. And, Mob getting out with Earl. And looking like Terra wants to take this aggression early through choke. Soldiers clearing the way, but here comes the counter bomb from Koch. Trying to go for the air shot. Mob getting the kill on Arrive. Lancaster killing Scouty, and now the cap for Blue, but player advantage, slight player advantage for Refugee. Lancaster looking to get in through choke, taking the fight with the demo. He goes down low. Jason getting arrowed last second, but S gonna finish off that kill. Earl gonna go down to T, and so is Lancaster. Knockers taking down S. Nomad has to fight for his med, but he does go down to T at the very end, trading out, and it's gonna be full Uber advantage for Blue as they're gonna try to maybe steal this point back so they get some forward spawns to work with Scouty with some early aggression to try to get Nomad off the point. Making sure nothing happens. Now Kot's getting gobbled up in Cafe like a croissant. And just like that, Nomad's gonna have to scurry and flee outside of choke.
I was going to say, I think there is a croissant in Cafe, but I don't think there is. Maybe there's a banana somewhere, as we do see the rest of this Tara Resume squad make their way in onto second. They do have big old Uber, and S is going to trade out with Scouty, which No harm, no foul. Maybe just trying to delay
Gun's just
the
not
Tar
going
Resume
up.
squad. If they possibly can. Lycus are up on the sniper, just trying to see if he can hit any type of shot to maybe just try and delay this. But it looks like they are going to be coming in through dungeon, avoid from any of the sniper's sight lines. They really haven't gotten any picks just quite yet. Now, finally, just starting to try and play the cap time. S going to be able to take down T. This might be holdable for the refugee squad, securing them just a bit more time in this grand finals match. Jason going to be bombing in, trying to see if he can do a salvage play onto Mobe. He does manage to take down S, but Mobe going to be able to stay alive there. So, yeah, successful last hold for the refugee squad. Going to be able to push out onto second with big Uber ad to boot. But you know what they're doing. They got Scouty up on sniper, and you know he's going to be hitting some shots.
Yeah, jeez, man. I saw my life flash before my eyes when I saw that dot Jason bomb in on last. I thought he was just going to hit the biggest splash Philly's ever hit in his life and just completely clear that point. But yeah, super shaky for Refugee. And I mean, if you were in their position, I'm pretty sure your life would be flashing before your eyes too, because that was their entire tournament life on the line there.
It was indeed. As Scouty does go down, Jason going to be taken down caught, so a little bit of a soldier trade here. We do have T going to be trying to fight Lycaser on the point, recognizing that he was so weak. He does get the kill. Now he's in a little bit of a 1v1. Nice rocket from S. We do have another person in behind. It is going to be Rive going all the way back, just trying to draw some eyes. They are going to be able to successfully cap up mid, but that has bought enough time for Tricks to get their own Uber. Now as the Uber comes in from the side of the refugee squad, they're a bit unprepared. Mobe caught out just on second, being kept a little bit as actually though, he's gonna be able to stay alive because they didn't shoot him right away. That's always why you shoot. Actually no, he runs into Scouty. Never mind. Okay. But how Tricks does go down.
Well, that's something to cling on to now as Earl desperately clings on to life with Cafe at 7 HP, and here it comes his team to bail him out. Still low, grabs the pack, but actually
so weak.
Yeah, Tower Resume really weak. If they wanted to, they could take the fight to him, and that's exactly what S recommends doing. But nobody's there to back them up. Now Knockers missing 4 shots to hit 5. Finally taking down S in the end there. And Mobe's up on crits. But wait. Oh no, Trix is on Uber, so I mean they're running the tricky crits play. Let's see if it'll actually pay off for him. I mean, I know Earl's good for it, so let's see if they can build up this advantage. It's looking like it's actually going to be pretty even, so not exactly what you want with crits. But let's see. It's like, oh my god, it's tit for tat, even Ubers. This is kind of crazy to see.
Yeah, not what you'd like to see if you are running crits. Your crits being the same as an Uber charge, if that is the case. But and it looks like they're not really in position to take this immediately either. Now finally making their way over to Valley, and they already have. And now this crits is going to come out. It's not really going to find anything that Uber already used. They are going to be able to pick down 3, however. This Uber not really finding much of anything, not really because of the crits, just because of the poor Uber use. And now the refugees have somehow managed to make a crits v Uber situation a bit favorable when both are used at the exact same time.
Yeah, I think they just sort of scattered like cockroaches as soon as the crits call was made. So yeah, Uber popped off, but I mean that was just desperation so that he didn't drop. And now it looks like it's going to be a proper crits ad. Uh-oh, tell me that was GG lag.
Well, we will never know until it happens.
I'm so nervous.
This is still an opportunity for the refugees. We're going to be trying the peek here. Sage does go down. We do have Scouty trying to get in onto Mo. He's juking and dodging, and he is going to go down. Great stuff from Scouty to collect that pick. Now Tar Resume, they got the traditional Uber. We do have Cox taking down T, but Earl is going to die by Valley. It's only going to be Cox left alive. They're going to have to try and go for some type of hero play. That hero play is going to be trying to initiate a back cap and a little bit of a 1v1. It's going to be Knockers winning that. Sage now coming out of a force spawn, trying to clear the stickies for his team so they don't get made into a frag movie just quite yet. And this is going to be do or die for the refugee squad. Excellent position for Tar Resume. They got big old Uber ad. If they win this push and the round, they win main grand finals and come out on top. Killing Sage is a great way to start your push.
And it's not great for Refugee, and that's putting it lightly. Now Jason taking down Earl. They've got no demo. They've got no Uber. Heavy's up, but I don't know if it'll be much. Uber popped off. Here we go. Tricks running across the point with Knockers, trying to find any and every Refugee that he can find. He does go down. Jason goes down. T takes out S. And Kotz. Knockers takes down like a and that'll be all she wrote. Terra Resume gonna take it all in the end. your main Grand Finals champion.
TcmAno, they've been dominant all season, and they're dominant again. Taking it technically 2-0. I actually no 3-0, sorry. In terms of map, only 2 of those maps were actually played. 3-0 scoreline against the the refugee squad.
Yeah.
Shout outs to the refugees for having a great season, but shout outs to TcmAno for coming in first place and being able to claim the victor slot for this 12th season of RGL Main. Really great stuff from them throughout the whole season. We didn't get to see much of them because we just kind of knew their matches would be them winning, and they proved it, especially on Sunshine. Process was pretty close. And you know, there were a lot of back and forth moments from the refugee squad number one, but at the end of the day, it was just TcmAno being able to come out and just kind of make any chaotic situation go in their way.
Yeah, TcmAno didn't drop a single map the entire playoffs. I mean, really good on them. And yeah, I think Refugee had their confidence shaken a bit. They looked good when they started out on process, kind of fell apart, especially with that config fiasco. Maybe took the wind out of their sails, and then coming into Sunshine. They lost to TcmAno in the regular season 4-5, so it really wasn't like a shoe-in sure thing. I think their best bet probably would have been Metalworks, considering how well they did in the entire playoffs on that map. But since it was banned out, this was like their next best shot, and yeah, I guess it just didn't pay out. 5 to the final score on this one.
All right, so we do have some interviews with some of the with just one person. It's going to be Trix, aka Howl, and we're going to be moving over there. All right, are we good?
Yeah, what's up?
All right. Well, welcome Trix, aka Howl, aka the #1 winning medic in Maine. Congratulations on your seasons. Congratulations on taking the first place. First of all, how does it feel?
It feels great, man. I don't know. It was very chaotic, just with everything and the roster changes and shit. But like, it feels good to win.
Yeah, I guess we can talk about that Rive coming in. It looked like you had to maybe get Sasuke, so that's the person coming in as well, but you only needed one ringer. Were you guys kind of worried about that going into this match tonight? And how do you think it was having Rive kind of step up?
Yeah. So we were gonna get Slimeer on Soldier, but he said he was gonna go, but then he came back, and then we just stayed with Rive because that's what the teammates wanted. And Rive kind of clutched up. Some moments the back cap on process was huge. Yeah, all around Rive did so good, and yeah, we were gonna ring Sasuke because Jason was gonna, but I mean, it all worked out in the end. So.
Okay, I'm surprised you're gonna say Jason was gonna bait because looking at the Sunshine numbers, man was putting massive damage. I guess we can start at the top a little bit. You guys picked process. Did you expect it to be as close as it ended up being? When you look at these two scorelines, you'd maybe assume you guys picked Sunshine because you guys seemed a bit more dominant on that map in comparison to process. Were you guys expecting a pretty close process game, or were you thinking you'd be able to walk away with it a bit more convincingly?
I I thought it was not gonna be as close as it was on process, but because like in scrims we do way better. Like on process, we coordinate so much better. But obviously we had like new players and stuff, so I think that kind of affected it. And I don't know, we just process wasn't our map. And then Sunshine, I don't know, we just kind of like all meshed really well together.
It seemed like you guys were having a lot of success just kind of working your way in. And I guess like yeah, going on to a I guess going on to still on process actually, sorry. Did you guys have like any special strat, or was it just, you know, put scouting on sniper and see what he does?
Say that again? Wait, what?
Did you guys have like any was it what was the reason why I guess picking process? Was it just oh we can have
Um,
Scouty go sniper and he'll hit some shots, or did you guys think that the refugee squad were
I think
particularly bad at it?
I don't know. I just on process, we've always just been dominant at process. Obviously, the
Mm.
sniper like sight lens help and stuff, but I think just process is just we've always scrimmed that map and we've always been dominant on it. Scouty's done good on sniper on that map, like every match, and it's yeah, I don't know. I think we just like scrim that map.
Fair enough, fair enough. And then on Sunshine, it was a lot more dominant for you guys. Was there anything that you think changed? You said it was a bit chaotic. Did the chaos tone down a bit on Sunshine as you guys kind of played together a little bit more and you guys figured out what was happening, or do you think it was maybe the enemy team that was kind of messing up a little bit more?
I think it was probably a combination of those two things. Obviously, we got kind of like our mojo back on after winning the map, and I felt like that just boosted our morale more since our morale was really like low coming into the match. Um, but I think we just needed that like win, and we just kind of just started like playing better. Like, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, it definitely showed on Sunshine. You guys were Rick rolling them around, and congratulations with both of those taking it into technically three. I guess number one, do you have any questions before I go into a couple final ones?
I just want to know what's 5 times 5.
25.
All right, cool.
Yo,
All right.
wait, can you get Jason in here by chance?
uh
Okay.
All right. Our producer does want to go to bed, so I'll make these last few questions super quick.
All right.
Who would you name as the team MVP? Either the person who was hitting the most shots, who was kind of boosting the morale, or just keeping everything together.
Definitely Scouty. Scouty
Okay.
is definitely Scouty. Pre-game, he was calming. He did really well. Uh, he did really well in the match. Obviously, he has like a huge impact when he's on sniper and stuff, and he gets huge picks.
Fair
But
enough.
yeah,
Fair enough. Yeah, it was definitely showing up in in the match from what we saw. But I guess before you go, Trix, congratulations on winning first place. Tremendous season from you guys. You guys were dominant the whole way through. Do you have any shout outs that you'd like to shout out?
uh, yeah. Shout out Dylan. Shout out Jafet. Shout out Eli. Shout out Kavito. Fuck it. Shout out everyone. Um, shout out Dank for the reviews and Hubada. And yeah,
All
shout
right.
Nash.
All right.
Shout Mojo.
Oh,
And yeah, it's good.
fair enough. Fair enough. Well, congratulations again on winning first place. You guys did really, really great stuff tonight. However, that is going to be it for us over here
Yo.
on Fireside. Oh, yeah?
Shout out NMS, Jungkook, GZ, YBG, uh, one Young K. Shout out him, bro. Shout out Baby Montclair. All right, sorry.
No worries. I feel like you're just reading the names from Twitch chat and just shouting all of them out, which is fair. I don't mind. Which I guess we can get into our own shout outs, and I'll have to mirror a little bit of that. Shout out to all you guys for watching all of these games over here on Fireside. Shout outs to the players for playing and to our resume for winning. Also, shout outs to Pug Refugees. You guys had a great season. Both of you guys had a great season and a phenomenal work getting as far as you did. Number one rocker, it's always great to cast with you. This was phenomenal cast today. Doctor _ shoutouts for the amazing production work that you always do. And as well, shoutouts to the merch over on Fireside. But number one, do you have any shoutouts before we walk away for the evening?
I mean, I think everybody's been pretty much shouted out, so I guess I'll shout out my fiance. Hi, thanks for watching.
No, wait. Jason keeps asking. Do you think he can't get in?
I think Dr.
I
Underscore
bet.
was good at
I
that.
bet.
Well, a special shout outs to Jason. I'm sorry we couldn't interview you. You did beast damage on Sunshine, so you should be feeling good about that and winning because as we close out for tonight, it was Tar Resume walking away 3-0. In terms of map, was the scoreline in favor of them against the refugee squad. Going to be your first placed main victors for this season of RGL. But that's going to be it for us over here. I've been Tcmano, joined by number one. We've had Dr. Underscore on production and nice interview with trxz as well. But stay tuned because you always know there's going to be more TF2 content coming your way. And you know that Fireside is going to be one of the great places that are going to be bringing it to you. So until then, good night and have a great life.
Bye bye.